Crowd filtering in for the first game of the Seattle Sounders Women 2012. Hope Solo, Alex Morgan, and the bunch get ready to take on Seattle Pacific University. Hello everybody and welcome in here as the Seattle Sounders women begin the 2012 season. You can see by the crowd behind me, things have changed this season. We've got a big set of fans ready to cheer on the Sounders women this year in 2012. Well, the team, as many of you know, is highlighted by U.S. women's national team players, the likes of Hope Solo that go beyond the soccer field. But that's not all you're going to see here this summer here at Starfire. A lot of fantastic talent from U17, U20, U23 national team players, and of course, the full national squad. A lot of players with professional experience and some stars of the future from local colleges like the University of Washington and Seattle U. So how did this team get put together? Well, tireless work behind the scenes without a doubt, but also the players had a little bit to do with that. We caught up with some of them earlier this week and asked them, how did this whole thing come together and why in Seattle?
They know how highly I speak of the city, of obviously the Sounders team, the organization. So, you know, I think I rubbed off on a few people, but they're just as excited to be here. You have a couple Northwest girls, you know, Megan Rapinoe played at Portland, so a lot of people are in love with the Northwest as well.
I'm excited that there's, you know, a number of us from the national team, so we'll, you know, all kind of have the same experience, and I'm sure the girls here will be welcoming and inviting, and, you know, I'm excited to share my experience with them too.
Even if you stem back to the last couple years of players that have played on the women's Sounders, you have Kelly Smith, who went to UW. You have Veronica Perez, who's from the Mexican national team and has been in and out of the women's Sounders program. You have Lindsay Elston, who's a young UW player that still has a couple years left there. Kate Dynas, who played for UW. You know, I mean, the list kind of goes on, and we've also got a couple players coming from out of state that are in the youth national team program. So it's a tremendous team that's being built, and I'm fortunate just to be a part of it.
Coach French is right that it's not just the women's national team players to watch out for here this summer. Well, I did catch up with Coach French earlier today, as well as her opposition, Chuck Sequeira from Seattle Pacific, and asked them a little bit about the mentality coming into a match with a big crowd, with a little bit renewed excitement about the game and more than just what's going on in the field.
I think what it comes down to tonight is experience. All the players that we're putting on the field have a ton of experience, whether it's college, whether it's international play, whether it's WPS. So I think the knowledge that these players have is going to make up for the lack of the so-called chemistry that we might not have just yet.
You played here in front of some crowds that won't be as big as a crowd tonight. What's that feel like going out knowing that this is going to be a packed house and the girls will be playing in front of a lot of cheering fans?
Well, kind of like Tebow, I'm really excited for the opportunity for these players. Not only for the national team players to be out there, but everybody's going to get to know more of the local girls that are actually part of our roster. So it's going to be a great opportunity to show that they are together collectively, the women's Sounders, and that they are actually this community's team. And they're going to do a great job doing that.
Well, I think we got to be realistic, and I think our first goal is to outwork these guys and come out, and I think we want to get a ton out of this game, and to do that, we've got to play. We've got to come after them. We've got to play our game, and we've got to make sure that we pressure these guys and try to make it a game. And we sit back and take abuse, and it's going to be a long night.
What would be the key? You certainly have some standout players like a Megan Lindsay who can do some things and maybe surprise a couple of players on the other team.
Yeah, I think we take advantage of that. I think we try to test their back line pace-wise. I think we try to win the ball and go at them a little bit. I think they're going to try to push numbers forward. I think we got to kind of sit back in the first 15 minutes and try to take the sting out of them a little bit, and then try to counter a little bit. And as the game goes on, try to push it a little higher and higher, see if we can create some chances.
A big crowd on hand with an opportunity to see 4 of the 5 national team members in the Sounders didn't disappoint. Early on in just the 6th minute of play, the corner from Tafara Pulse is flicked on by Lindsay Patterson, and the Sounders take a 1-0 lead. The first goal of the 2012 season, and surprisingly, it was a small forward, Lindsay Patterson out of Tennessee, who got the flick and the goal. SPU fought back early, and it was the first chance for Sounders fans to see Hope Solo in action as she struck across to the right side of her goal and knotted it over the bar. The chance from SPU came to Heather Young, but Hope was up to the task. She would record the shutout. Then later on, it was the Sounders back on the attack. LaRue let the ball slip all the way to her hips, but couldn't turn it goal bound. Tried to find Alex Morgan on the volley, but Morgan sprayed it wide. It was all the way until later in the half, just before the first half finished. LaRue down the left channel. A little 1v1, gets it back to her right foot, sees Alex Morgan streaking through. No look, just left foot into the back post. Goal number 1 on the season for Alex Morgan, and a beautiful setup from Sydney LaRue. Those two are teammates on the U.S. national team now for the Sounders women. Second half now, and the action with Farrell, the youngster Isabel, just with her first match of the season. Left footer to the back post, and it's right into the clutches of Alex Hughes. It wasn't much later until the Sounders women were back in action. That was a long drive from Veronica Perez. Remember that, because she'd have another opportunity later on. Here it is. Gets it to the left foot, cuts it back to the right, and look at this blast. Right off of the upright into the back of the net. 3-0 Sounders. Veronica Perez from the Mexican national team shows her stuff. Probably the goal of the night. Then later on, the Sounders looking to pour things on. LaRue earns it. It comes to Kara Cutler, who finds the left foot and punches the old onion bag. 4-0 for the Sounders. LaRue did not score a goal on the night, but again, credit her for one of the setups. This, the 5th goal of the night. It starts with Kate Dinas with a beautiful ball into the box, and Victoria Frederick out of Alabama University able to work and work and work until she punches it into the goal. The left-footed goal for the right-footed winger, and it's 5-0 for the Sounders. Still one more chance for Sydney LaRue to get on the board. The beautiful header, and really you have to say SPU's player of the night was their goalkeeper. Although she gave up 5 goals, Alexa Hughes big in the matchup. Fans, welcome back in here after the match. The Sounders with a 5-0 win, and we're here with one of the stars. There's a lot of players getting into the action. Alex Morgan with a goal on a nice setup from Sydney LaRue. What were your feelings after your first match as a Sounder?
Well, the atmosphere was great. I really loved how everyone came out. We had, a lot of people chanting, and so, it's really great to see them come out and support the women. I felt good about, our first time playing together. We haven't been able to practice a lot together, so it's great. We came out, played a great game, 5-0 win, and we're looking forward to the rest of this week and playing again on Friday.
Now, as a goal scorer, as a forward, sometimes that's how things are judged by the end of the night. You got on the board. That's got to feel good as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I had my fair share of chances, so I did get on the board, and I'm happy about that. Hopefully next time I'll put a few more away.
You're one of the best players on the pitch, and you certainly have a lot of pedigree yourself. What did you feel in front of that kind of a crowd today?
I felt great. I mean, the crowd was the stands were packed. They were cheering for us, supporting us, and that energy just brings something out of me and out of all the players, and we just want to give them some entertaining football, and I think that's what we did today.
Now, your goal was fantastic. Probably the goal of the night, a little cut from the left back to your right and driven home. Describe it from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I got a great pass, I think, from Sophie in the midfield. I knew I had a defender coming at me, so I used a little skill to get past her, and I just, shot it, went in. It's great.
Now, you said, that you get built up a little bit from a crowd like this in a little different environment. What did you think when you first walked out there and saw, the type of atmosphere that you're going to play in front of tonight?
I knew because we had been doing some good marketing and, spreading the name out there, getting our Sounders women, in the papers, on the radio, all that kind of stuff. So we heard that there's going to be a lot of people out there, but, they were doing the fan section, and then, all the family, friends come out, so it was great. It's great to see them out there and supporting us.
So the Sounders women with a 5-0 victory over Seattle Pacific University in the first game here of the 2012 campaign. Big crowd on attendance, happy fans going home tonight. 5 goals from 5 different players. Sure, the superstars, the players like Hope Solo and Alex Morgan with a clean sheet and with a goal tonight, but so many other players, stars like Veronica Perez, showed their stuff and what they're going to do for the Sounders here this summer. Well, for our crew here at Starfire, thanks for watching tonight, And don't forget, for news, notes, everything Sounders Women, check out SoundersWomen.com. Next up, Friday night against Seattle U, the Sounders back in action. Join us here on SoundersWomen.com.